Namaste. This traditional greeting means my soul bows to your soul, which is a beautiful way to connect with other people, even without it being the time of the virus. I was out walking a little bit just around our home this morning, wearing a mask, and I was thinking, what joy it was to be able to walk outside on a beautiful spring day without wearing a mask. And yet I never gave it a second thought. It just seems so natural. Of course, why would anybody ever wear a mask outside? But now we're wearing them most of the time. And it made me wonder, what else do we have now that we're taking for granted? Or as one of the school children said, we're taking it for granted, like the rock. There's so much that we have, so much freedom still, even though we're mainly in our homes and we're working from home, we're isolating. Still, we can connect, we can communicate via Zoom, we can enjoy the blue sky and all the flowers that are out, the birds singing. They're not at all bothered by a coronavirus. They have no idea that it's affecting us. There's so much that we have. We can practice meditation freely. We can practice our faith freely. We can love God freely. So during this time, let's try to see the good that we have and the good that can come from this situation. There's a story that I love about World War II in Holland, and the Nazis had taken over. And there was a Christian family, the Ten Booms. Corrie was a middle-aged woman with her elderly sister and their very aged father. The three of them lived together. And when they realized what was happening with the Jews, they started hiding Jews in their home and then smuggling them out to freedom. And Corrie wrote a beautiful book called The Hiding Place, which was a little secret room in their house where they hid these people. Well, they managed to smuggle out many, many people to freedom. But then one night, the Nazis came. And they rousted everyone out, arrested everyone. One of the things I remember most about this story is that Corrie that night had a fever. She had the flu. She was very, very ill. So you can imagine this incredible, dramatic, terrorizing scene. And she was physically in such terrible shape. Well, that was the last night that the women ever saw their father. And they were taken to a concentration camp. They organized prayer meetings in this big dormitory setting where they were all huddled together in fear. And especially Corrie's sister was very saintly, and she was able to help many people. And together they made these prayer meetings. But if they had ever been found out, if the guards ever caught them, they would be instantly executed, along with everyone there who was participating in that. So as time went on, They had very little food. It was just a great deprivation. And added on to it, there was an infestation of fleas. And Corey's sister one day was telling her, no matter what it is, we have to be grateful for everything. Find gratitude in your heart for every circumstance, everything. And Corey said, well, I can't be grateful for the fleas. And her sister said, no, you have to be grateful for the fleas too. And not long after that, late at the night, they were gathered having a prayer meeting, and suddenly they heard that ominous knock on the door, footsteps coming to the door, and they were about to be discovered. And the guard opened the door a little bit, but then she said, oh, let's not go in there. There's terrible infestation of fleas in there. And she shut the door. And their lives were saved because of the fleas. So as we go through these days together, let's find things to be grateful for. Even the coronavirus, there's something. Obviously, it's teaching humanity a great deal. Whether we pass the tests, I don't know. But we can try. And all of us who love God, it's a great time to see your religion tested. How much do you love God? How much do you trust Him? How much can you surrender and have faith in Him? It's a beautiful challenge. It's not easy, but it's the gift we've been given, just like those ladies were given the gift of fleas. I was reading this morning about how farmers and dairy farmers are throwing away so much food. And then in another article I was reading how people are starving. And I thought there has to be a way that people can learn to work together. There's plenty for everyone in this world. If we share and we give and we trust in God, there's all kinds of prosperity and abundance. If we stop hating each other and start loving with God's love. So let's take this opportunity. Take what God has given us and be grateful for it, and find the beauty in it. Find the growth in it. And realize that God doesn't make mistakes. He gives us everything for a reason. Namaste.